Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. So what you see here are the Uzi Cobra Cuffs, and this is a really nice product I picked up recently, and I think they're a great option for a lot of different kits and different things. So first off, I've been carrying them on my plate carrier, and I really like them for that. They're cost effective. They only cost like $3 per pair. They are very lightweight. They only weigh 2 ounces. They're also quiet. You know, when I've been hiking around with these, I haven't had to worry about them jingling around or anything. I've got a pair of metal cuffs here, and if you don't get these in the right pouch, they can kind of jingle around. And so I don't really like that about the metal cuffs. They're also heavy. You know, I can carry multiple sets of these for the same weight as the metal cuffs. Now these are one-time use, so it's really something that I would more put in like a bug-out bag, a emergency kit in your car, you know, a plate carrier, something like that. It's not, you know, something that if you're a law enforcement officer and you're, you know, maybe routinely cuffing people that you'd want to use these, because you're going to be going through a lot of these. So it's going to be a lot cheaper just to use reusable metal cuffs. But another nice thing about these is that they come in lots of different colors. So if you're maybe on a SWAT team, or whatever, and you're cuffing multiple people, you can identify them by the color. So you can say, you know, the red and the orange cuffs, you know, those two people need to go over here. You can identify, you know, the guy in the yellow cuffs, you know, whatever. Or you could have you could have multiple sets of cuffs. You could, you know, cuff combatants in one color and cuff, bystanders or whatever in another color. So that is a good way of identifying people. Now, what you see here are 2 of the sets that I've carried. I also, when I ordered these, I did order the trainer set, and the trainer set is blue, and these ones are more of like a zip tie material, and I'll address that real quick. Some people, you know, do just use zip ties as restraints, and the zip ties are really not a substantial enough restraint. If you search on YouTube, you know, a real quick search will yield lots of ways to break out of zip ties. They're really not that great of a restraint. You know, just a hard, sharp force on them can snap zip ties. If you use your shoelaces, you can cut your way out of them very quickly with using friction. So zip ties are not really a good enough restraint. These are a very thick, you know, kind of industrial strength polymer. They're very strong, and these should restrain somebody effectively. You got very large lock teeth on there, so these are a very strong restraint. Also, you know, if you needed to use these as for repairs or something, you know, you could just cut this top piece, pull it out, and you'd have a very large zip tie that you could, you know, use for something. So these blue trainer ones are a little bit more rubbery of a plastic. They're not quite as harsh, which is nice if you're training. You know, it's not going to be quite as hard on somebody's wrists. And basically what they did is they just left lock teeth out. So, you know, you're not going to have the lock teeth in there. So you can just, you know, zip tie these down and pull them back out. And so these are multiple use. So as you can tell, the way you're going to use these is you just pull that out just like that. And then, you know, you put somebody's hands through there. And then you're just going to pull on this top, pull it through, and zip tie it down. So it's not the most compact once you have it on there. You know, this will be kind of, you know, dangling or whatever. But you just zip tie that down just like that, and they're restrained. Then when you need to unrestrain them, you're just going to have to cut this off. So I like it. They're lightweight, cost effective. I think they're a really good product for for select applications. So if you have any questions about these Cobra Cuffs, feel free to leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to help you guys out with this. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe, and everyone have a nice day.